guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be reviewing, trying on, doing a first impression and a 10-hour wear test of the Fenty Beauty Foundation and Primer. And then later on, I also am going to be testing out the blotting papers and the blotting powder to see how those work. So if you're new to my channel, I do have very oily skin, especially in my T-zone, so right down the center and then my forehead. So yes, I'm very, very oily. I have very sensitive skin and I have acne-prone skin. So just a little background on my skin before we get started. I think that's really all I have to say. I am actually filming this on Friday. I completely forgot to film an intro yesterday while I was filming this, so I might look a little different now because I am wearing different makeup. But anyways, if you aren't already, then please subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me. And if you want to know how this foundation worked on my oily skin after 10 plus hours, then just keep on watching. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer on half of my face, and then I'm not going to put a primer on the other half, just so we can also see if the primer is making a difference in the foundation. So this is what the packaging for the primer looks like. It is beautiful. It's really heavy and luxurious feeling, and it has that really nice frosted glass look to it with a matte, kind of like a blush nude color. So loving this packaging, and this is a silicone-based primer. It says it's a shine-stopping, pore-diffusing primer that smooths the way for a better foundation application and a longer wear with an instant retouch effect. So let's just go ahead and I'm gonna put this on the right side of my face. I'm just gonna use one pump to start. This is probably actually too much for just half of my face, but oh well. It kind of has a little bit of a sunscreen scent to it, and it's going on really, really smooth, and it also feels really hydrating. Okay, so it's starting to dry down now, and it doesn't feel very like sticky and tacky. It actually feels really, really soft. My pores look a lot bigger on this side of my face than they do on this side. Okay, and then for the foundation, this is the Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation. This is what the packaging looks like. Again, super nice packaging. I'm loving this frosted glass look, and it also has a pump, which I love. This foundation is $34, and it has 32 milliliters or 1.08 fluid ounces on it. This is supposed to be a medium to full coverage foundation, and it has a matte finish. Okay, so now for trying it on, I'm gonna do one side of my face with a beauty blender and the other side of my face with my favorite foundation brush. Also, I got the shade 230 before I forget. I ordered this online, so I don't even know if it's gonna match me, but it looks like it's gonna be a pretty close match. So I'm just gonna take about a little bit less than a pump and dot this on the right side of my face. And then I'm gonna blend this out with a beauty blender. Okay, so just with that one layer, you can definitely see that it covered up a lot. It covered up all of my redness, but I still can see a couple of my pimples and just a teeny bit of redness on my forehead. So I'm gonna go in with another like half pump just to see how this builds up. So far, this is looking beautiful on the skin. I love the finish that it has. It's definitely not the kind of matte where it like sucks the life out of you. Like the Urban Decay All Nighter is super, super matte. This also has a matte finish, but it's not like that kind of matte. So just taking another half pump, and then we'll just try and build this up. Definitely is oxidizing too, if you guys can see how much lighter it is when you first put it on. So keep that in mind when you're looking for your shade, that it definitely oxidizes. Okay, so that built it up really nicely. It doesn't look cakey at all. Sometimes when you layer the foundation and try and build it up, it can start to look a little bit cakey, but this is not doing that at all. It actually looks really, really pretty, and I'm loving the finish of this so far. So it definitely covered up everything. I don't see any redness on my face anymore. I don't see my pimples or any acne scarring that I had. So you can definitely build this up to a full coverage foundation for sure. So I'm gonna do the other side of my face with a foundation brush, and this is a Morphe E31. So again, I'm gonna take about a half pump and just dot that around. Yeah, look at how much lighter that is. So definitely got more coverage with the brush. I actually don't want to go in with a second layer just because this is like the perfect coverage right here. Wow, I am loving the look of this so far. It is making my skin look so soft. So I'm just gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I just put concealer on and I completely forgot to zoom in and show you guys what the foundation looks on my skin without anything else on. So I already put concealer on, but I haven't set my face yet. So I am gonna zoom you in and show you guys what it looks like. It looks really, really soft. I love the finish of it. Okay, so I just finished up the rest of my makeup, and as you can see, the foundation has definitely oxidized. It is a lot darker than, well, not a lot, but it's a little bit darker than my body now when it matched a little bit better before. So yeah, I'm just gonna zoom you guys in and show you guys what it looks like up close before I come back after a few hours. Okay, so it is now 3:07, and I actually finished up my foundation at like 2:36, 2:37. So I'm just gonna go off of like 2:30 when I come back for the hourly check-ins. All right, so I will see you guys in a couple hours. Okay guys, I just got to the Mall of America and I'm gonna pick up, I really hope they have the Fenty Beauty blotting papers and blotting powder because that's what I wanna test out. Cross my fingers that it's in there, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, good news guys, they had it. I had to get out of that parking ramp. It was way too dark in there to talk. I mean, for you to see me, not to talk. So I got the Universal blotting powder, and I also got the Invisimatte blotting papers. So it is 6:30 now, so it's been 4 hours and I still don't have any oil on my face at all. Okay, so this is what my skin is looking like. It doesn't look as like matte and powdery as it did, so my natural oils are definitely starting to kind of come through the foundation, which is not a bad thing. I actually kind of like when that happens because it makes my face look more like dewy. So yeah, I definitely have a little bit of a shine to my face, but I wouldn't say this is oily. When I get oily, I am oily. So I'm at IKEA now. I'm gonna run inside and I probably won't check back in until like 8 hours. So yeah, I will see you guys then. Okay guys, it is now 12:55 a.m. so 1 in the morning. It has been 10 and a half hours since this foundation has been on my face and I am oily. Wow. I truly was not expecting this because the last time we checked in was, I guess I was only like 4 or 5 hours in and it wasn't oily at all. So I really thought that it wasn't gonna be oily. I really noticed it start getting oily around the 8-hour mark. I haven't touched it at all. I haven't like touched my fingers on it or like tried to blot it or anything. And as I showed you guys before, I did get the blotting papers and the blotting powder. So I am gonna be testing those out right now to see how those work to get all that extra oil off and see what it makes foundation look like. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in quick so you can see this oily mess up close. Okay, so this is what my skin is looking like after 10 and a half hours. Usually when I get oily like this, the makeup will start to separate, especially on my nose and my cheek area, and it'll start to cake up in the corners of my nose. And that's not happening at all, so I'm really surprised by that. You can see the foundation is starting to come off a little bit on the lower parts of my chin. That's where I rest my hands a lot. This is what my forehead is looking like, and honestly, I think my forehead is the oiliest out of my entire face, which is strange because usually I get the oiliest right here. So this is the side that I used the primer on. And I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to tell, but I can kind of tell that my pores do look a little tiny bit smaller on this side, but I think it looks the same as far as how oily I am. So I don't think that the primer controlled my oil anymore, but it did make my skin look a little bit softer. Okay, so now for the fun part, let's test these out. I'm gonna test out the blotting powder on one side of my face and then the blotting papers on the other side. This is what the packaging looks like. It's very nice and chic. I love the shape of it. Also, before I forget, I did do a flashback test and there was no flashback from the foundation. I'm also gonna do a flashback test on this setting powder after I put it on. Okay, so I'm just gonna be taking a clean brush. This is a Morphe E3 and press it on. Okay, so that surprisingly actually took away all of the oil. It kind of almost looks like I just applied the foundation. Weird. It looks really pretty too. I am gonna zoom you guys in after I blot this side. This is what the packaging for the rolling papers, why do I keep saying that? The blotting papers looks like. I love this packaging. It's super sleek and I love how you can't even tell that it's blotting papers. And then it looks like that on the inside. Okay, so I'm gonna use like this much. It's kind of a lot. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Ah! Look at all that oil. Yuck. That is crazy. I didn't think I was that oily. I'm in shock right now. This is actually like fun. You guys, this is like addicting. Okay, I'm gonna use one last piece and do my nose because I feel like I'm using way too much right now. Oh my God. That's nuts. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna use. I've used like 6 pieces of paper, but holy crap. I literally am shocked at how good the foundation actually looks now. Before I did this, I was a little sad at how actually oily I was. Honestly, it looks like brand new now. I don't know, do you guys think so too? I feel like it looks like I just applied it. Totally took off all of the oil. Yeah, that is crazy. I did not think that was gonna happen, and it hasn't transferred at all. Okay, so this is what my skin looks like after blotting and using the powder. So this is the side that I used the blotting powder on, and this is the side that I used the blotting papers on. I think that made my skin look super soft. You can see my pores look a lot smaller now. They don't look so enhanced, and my forehead looks a million times better. But yeah, so you guys can definitely see that it didn't pick up any of the foundation, and I think it looks really, really good. Okay, so final thoughts. The foundation obviously did not pass my 10-hour wear test. Kind of sad about that, but honestly, now that I have the blotting papers or the blotting powder, I will definitely be wearing this foundation again, especially because I didn't even really start getting oily until like 7 to 8 hours. I feel like that's a pretty good amount of time. But if you're gonna be wearing it longer than that, I would definitely suggest getting the blotting papers or the blotting powder if you are oily like me. I feel like the foundation looks really, really good now. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be wearing this again. I think this foundation is awesome. The fact that I was able to blot it and everything, and it still is on my face and it looks almost brand new, I think that's awesome. So the formula is amazing. I love that. I love the way it looks in the skin. I really don't like that it oxidizes. That actually really bothers me. I hate when foundations oxidize, but that just means that I'm gonna have to go and exchange it for a lighter shade and figure out what my shade is gonna be after it oxidizes. That's the only thing that really bothered me. But other than that, I think this foundation is awesome. Honestly, I wouldn't be saying this right now if I didn't blot. If I would have just came back here without any of that and just showed you guys, I would have been really disappointed. Yeah, I probably would have given this one a thumbs down, but since I've seen how it is after touching up, since most people do touch up anyways, a lot of people carry a powder around in their purse and will just touch up as the day goes on when they do get oily. So I feel like it's very common to do that anyways. I think that's all I have to say about this foundation. I am really liking it. And mainly I just love how good it makes my skin look. It didn't cake up at all. It didn't separate on my face. So if you're not a person who likes to touch up throughout the day or after like 6, 7, 8 hours, this foundation probably won't be for you. Also, another thing is too, if you are dry, you probably won't like this foundation because it is very matte. I can't really really judge that though because I don't have dry skin, so I don't know how it would look on dry skin. So yeah, if you have dry skin, you might not like this, but I think if you're oily like me or even combination skin, I think this will be good for you. If you're gonna touch up, that is. So yeah, overall, I'm very impressed with this foundation. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys like my foundation reviews. I wanna start getting out a ton of these reviews on foundations. So yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you aren't already, then please subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.